Good evening, my name is CrackedRack. As per usual, welcome back to Ask CrackedRack. I'm pretty sure you guys get the gist of this show now. You send the questions in, I answer the questions on the show. Send me a comment with a life question, advice request, or shoot me an email at askcrackedrack@gmail.com. That's askcrackedrack@gmail.com. Today's question is a bit out of my field of knowledge, but I'm pretty confident I can answer it decently well. I do have a little experience in it. The question reads as follows. Hello, CrackedRack. My 9-year-old cousin Christopher has recently been permanently banned from a local games and hobbies store where he was an avid player of the Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon trading card games, even receiving gym leader status in the latter. Okay, just a heads up, while I will answer this with full seriousness, I don't know a single goddamn thing about these games. I was a kid when they came out, but even back then, I just did not understand how to utilize them. It was like rocket science to me. I did play with Bakugans back in like 2007, back when that was a thing, but I mean, who really gives a shit? Anyway, back to the question. The manager of this particular games and hobbies store is a mean, cold-hearted man who is probably a sex offender, which is problematic, yeah, no shit, considering the demographic of his patrons at his store, as well as the fact that the store is within proximity to a school. This permanent ban comes at an inopportune time for Christopher, considering the issues that he is dealing with, and I would love advice for this situation. Thank you. Well, first off, I doubt he's a registered sex offender, because I doubt he'd be allowed to run and manage a building so close to a school, if he was. But if you do believe this man is a sex offender, or a potential sex offender, or he has some kind of sexual attraction to children, you need to keep your cousin the hell away from this cursed place. Just reading this kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies. It sounds like the basis for a creepypasta. I am somewhat familiar with these game hangout places, and from what I know about them, they're not really safe places for kids to be in, at least unsupervised. I knew this guy years and years ago. I mean, most of my viewers were not even old enough to leave the house when this happened, but long ago, when I was a very young teenager, like 12, I used to go to this con for Dungeons & Dragons games. It wasn't my interest at all. I could care less about that shit. It was a family member's interest, and at the con, I met this guy who I hung out with just for the day to keep me busy, named, I think, Dustin? Dustin was a 22-year-old man, and he was on a death mission, alright, a fucking suicide mission, to get unbanned from a local Magic the Gathering / Pokemon card game tournament hangout spot that was very popular in the area. I remember going into the shop with him and a few other buddies, and the shop owner immediately came out and started screaming at Dustin, going, "Dustin, nothing has changed. Nothing. Get out." And I asked Dustin what the hell that was all about, and he told me that 2 years prior, keep in mind, he was like 22 going on 23, he had gotten into a severe argument with like a 16 or 17-year-old boy over Pokemon cards or something really fucking inconsequential and stupid, and it escalated to the point where he started choking this dude, this like underage dude, and bashing his head onto the fucking table until he started bleeding and the cops had to be called. I mean, this was like Peter Griffin styled stuff, like from Family Guy. This is what you'd see in a cutaway gag. Dustin then tried to hang himself as a result of this, if I recall. That could be a misdetail, it was so long ago, but yeah, those are generally the types of adults who hang out at these card game shops. They are not a place for children, in my opinion. They are for older adults who like to party and have fun, and I would just overall not recommend letting your 9-year-old cousin go to these places unsupervised. Try to be there with him when they go there, if they ever go there again. And also, if the head adult in charge anyway is creepy and you don't trust him and you believe he's a sex offender, you especially need to keep him far away from that place. You don't know what that guy's capable of unless you run like a background check on him or something, which you can do on Instant Checkmate, or I don't know what it's called. There's all sorts of websites for this shit. He could be totally innocent, which is probably the case, but what if one day when unsupervised, He offers your cousin and his 5-year-old friends a drink or exposes them to some inappropriate pornography. I mean, the possibilities are completely endless when you introduce a problematic adult to a small child, especially an adult you don't trust. So maybe take this as a blessing, though you didn't mention why he was banned exactly. I assume you'd probably not have to be behaving very well in order to get adults to ban you when you're 9, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume this owner is just a douche, which wouldn't surprise me. A lot of these nerdy subcultures have adults in them who are just complete pieces of shit. So my advice, I guess, would be to, well, you said he has a lot of friends there, right, and is a gym leader, so why not have him contact those buddies and then just start hosting Pokemon games at your house or something? Why does he have to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In some pedophile's basement? I don't see the necessity there. I would also maybe have a talk with your cousin about, acting out in public and the slippery slope that can cause, because being disagreeable like that can lead to a lot of issues in the future. I don't know what kind of issues Christopher is going through, but you should look into that deeper if you aren't already, if, it is your business to do so. You didn't mention how old you are. You could be 14, you could be 29, so I don't know. Overall, just leave this place alone and tell him to move on, and maybe hang out with the friends he made at that place somewhere else, and try to find a new game place. There's game places everywhere. There's like 2 in every city. Best of luck to you, and I hope this gets resolved. That's all for today. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe as always. If you have a life advice request, comment it in the comments below, or please shoot me an email at askcrackedrack@gmail.com. That's askcrackedrack@gmail.com. See ya.